Report is framed as the most extensive public effort to date to identify and track children from Ukraine subjected to deportation, adoption and fostering by Russia's government, following its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022.
The Humanitarian Research Lab's inquiry identified 314 children from Ukraine that, following Russia's February 2022 invasion of the country, have been placed in this systematic Kremlin-directed of coerced adoption and fostering. These identifications resulted from cross-corroboration of multiple points of data to a high confidence standard, including but not limited to photographs, travel itineraries, physical characteristics, official Russian documents, and other specific details related to each child.
Yale Report's findings, it identified 314 individual children from Ukraine who have been placed in what it refers to as Russia's program of coerced adoption and fostering. Russian officials listed children from Ukraine in Russia's child placement databases following Moscow's illegal annexation of portions of Ukraine in September 2022. That Russia's aerospace forces and aircraft, under direct control of President Vladimir Putin's office, transported multiple groups of children from Ukraine. At least 67 children have been naturalized as Russian citizens, and at least 208 children identified have been placed for adoption or guardianship with citizens of Russia.
Were exclusively, we believe, from Donetsk and Luhansk oblasts, but information reviewed by HRL analysts indicates children from Zaporizhia, Kherson, and Kharkiv oblasts as well, areas captured by Russia after February 2022, are likely also included in the program. Just under half of the children HRL identified are part of sibling groups present in the program, meaning their brothers and sisters. In at least one case by Russia from their brothers and sisters as part of placement with citizens of Russia. The total number of children from Ukraine Russia has placed in its adoption and fostering pipeline is not known and cannot be determined from the data analyzed for this report. Without Russia providing the government of Ukraine in the International Committee of the Red Cross the actual lists of the children they've taken, we cannot estimate how many children are in their custody.
We charged that the allegations made were part of a broader smear and a series of unsubstantiated allegations against his country.
There is no program in Russia on adopting children from the area of special military operations who are orphans, and those who are without relatives were only transferred onto temporary preliminary guardianship or temporary wardship with Russian citizens. Nor is there any basis for the allegation about the forced naturalization of Ukrainian children. The decree on the streamlining the citizenship procedure, which is usually used when this accusation is being made, provides an opportunity to obtain Russian citizenship for humanitarian reasons. It does not require the denunciation of Ukrainian citizenship, but allow people to receive social protection under federal or regional law, makes it easier to, for example, receive education in Russian institutions of education. Other accusations are being made, but they are so absurd and so unsubstantiated that there is no point on dwelling on them here.
The United States accuses Russia of forcibly deporting children from Ukraine.
What does that mean in labels? It means Russian forces have stolen children and sent them to Russian-occupied parts of Ukraine's sovereign territory, or deported them into Russia itself, where all trace of them is often obscured. Russia's forces have assigned these children new Russian names, Russian passports, and subjected them to Russian militaristic indoctrination programs. They have punished children for speaking Ukrainian, lied to them about the fates of their families and communities, and forced them into adoption with Russian families. In other words, Russia has sought to systematically erase these children's identity.
The pre-trial chamber of the International Criminal Court in March 2023 issued arrest warrants for President Putin and his Children's Rights Commissioner Maria Lvova-Belova for the alleged war crime of deportation of Ukrainian children. He charges that there are reasonable grounds to believe that both President Putin and Commissioner Lvova-Belova bear individual criminal responsibility for failure to exercise control properly over civilian and military subordinates who committed the acts or allowed for their commission. Russia, unlike Ukraine, does not recognize the ICC and has labeled the arrest warrants as meaningless. Sherman Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.